Hi there, this is Kathy Crow here at the Crow Cottage. It is so nice to see you on this really nice day. This is a beautiful day, a little cold out there. I don't know about you, but we've had a little bit of a cold snap after a lot of hot weather, and now I'm feeling really good about it because I just needed to get a lot of rain. We got that. And some new plants in the ground, and I got that done, and so it's feeling really nice outside in our yard. I'm enjoying watching the birds. Anyway, today the whole suite that I'm doing, I mean, you can see it all piled up back here. I have been having so much fun with this. You are gonna love what I'm doing. Seriously, you're gonna have to try it. Okay, so I'm gonna put the cards down actually, I think, to show them to you. So that you can see them in their proper perspective. And we're just going to get started. Today we're going to do a fun pop-up. And I should add that to my description or I'll never find that again on this video, because this one's probably the simplest pop-up you can do, I think. You don't really even need measurements for this thing, hardly. You need to keep the word 1 inch in your mind, and that's about it. It's so easy, so fun. It looks really good. I'm using the Sweet Old Friends suite and the DSP, which is Designer Series paper, is so loaded with images that you are going to love to do for your grandkids, your kids that are grown but still like literature. Because the old Winnie the Pooh stuff is pretty fun. I mean, if you've ever watched the Disney cartoons, then you have a love of it for that. That's why we love it in our family. But the stories are pretty good too. I have to say I probably haven't read more than one, and maybe not even one. Our son Joel probably has. He's the actual real reader in the family. I'm a reader too, but a purely fun, generally junior fiction variety that even Winnie the Pooh might surpass literature-wise. I'm pretty simple-minded. All right, so I'm going to put the camera down. This is a great suite. Don't despair. If you are in the United States market, you can purchase this eventually, even if it is out right at the moment. It'll be back, and I think it's actually in. This is from our pre-order, which just ended. So this might be the first day of it. Get in there and get it while it is in there, because it is going to be gone. Having said that, though, there's a special sale coming up that this might impact some too. I don't know. I don't think it will, but you never know. I'll look at that as I'm going. I don't want to waste any more of your time, because I have to kind of monkey around with it and see what I've got, and if I'm... What's this shadow? Is this like a real shadow, or yeah, it is an actual there we go. I was gonna say, what in the world is that? Okay, so it takes me a while to get this all done. I am not professional. I bet you didn't know that. But you had no clue. I'm not a professional. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna let you look at these for just a second while I find myself, as I always say that I'm doing, and it always takes a couple of seconds to get this going over here on the side. At least it's a little easier than it used to be. Stampin' Up! Facebook used to make this much harder to see, and they have done such a magnificent job. I must say, even somebody as lame as I am can make sense of what's happening here to a great degree. My lighting leaves a lot to be desired. I understand that, but other than that, we're all good. Okay, so if I can get my little light, this little light of mine. Did you ever sing that when you were a kid? I hope so. I sincerely hope so. And there we go. That's much better. It's still a little dark in this corner, but that's okay. I think we'll learn to live with the darkness in that corner. And of course my plastic over the top of this doesn't really help, but I kind of have to do that to keep my my logo here. So you can find my website. Now seriously, on my website, it's useful only as a link. Once in a blue moon, when I remember to do it, I put my favorite product up there. I try to do that once a month. Stampin' Up! Has been just putting out too many good things, so I've been having a really hard time keeping up with it. But this suite is wonderful. So this, let me show you, this is my special one. This is the project we're going to do today, and this shows you the pop-up that I'm doing. Okay, it's just your simple stair-step pop-up, but isn't that beautiful? It just opens up so nicely, and you can see everything. It only gives you a little room to write in here. So if you're just doing a real quick little, this kind of sentiment that's just a little quick, I'm thinking of you, have a blessed day is what we're putting on the inside of that. All right, this is another one. This paper, when I show it to you, you're just going to be amazed at all the beautiful images in it. So blessed to know you. And then I just did one little pop-up in there. We're not going to do this design, but it's easy to adapt from what we're doing. Just one little pop-up. So cute, though, isn't it? I love that. It's so, so fun. And then this is my pièce de résistance. Oh boy, I'm so lame at this stuff. This is an old one. This is this stamp. Oh, what is this from? There's a sentiment and the floral, and it's from, I'm gonna say Birthday Blossoms. I'm not 100% sure. It's a very old retired one, but I wanted that to be here because this is a special folder card, and I used our retired rectangle dies on that. So you get your folder out, you get to see this, and you get all these. I wanted to put as many of the images of the Sweet Old Friends, which is basically your Winnie the Pooh scenes, in here. It never hurts to keep looking up. Now in the paper, there's a few Winnie the Poohs that are looking up, and Piglet too, so you can use that stamp quite a lot with these sets. Now my scripture verses stamps, those are non-Stampin' Up, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a non-Stampin' Up one too. And then you get to open the next page. Oh, isn't that adorable? So this little stair step is kind of what we're doing today. I think I've got the same number in ours, in our card that we're going to do. And then because I just wanted this to be super special and fun for a couple of granddaughters actually, then you get to lift up another little flap because old friends are the best friends, and there you get to see them all. There they all are. Winnie the Pooh, Tigger too, Eeyore, Piglet, Owl, and Rabbit. Okay, so fun. I love it. This card is too lengthy for me to do on a video. So if you want the tutorial for this, I actually did one. I haven't been doing them, but I did a written tutorial. If you go to my Square website, Kathy Crow's Cards at Square.com, my Square website, which you could probably find easily enough on Google. And you can find it on my Pinterest. I think Pinterest has a link to it. And I will, when I put this up on my web page on Wix website, because this is not exactly the Dominion name now. I'm not keeping it up. I've got the free version, which has Kathy Crow's Cards Wix site, etc. before you get to the .com. And on that, I'll try to remember to put a link to my Square site. It'll be in a newsletter coming up, I'm sure. Anyway, it's just for fun, okay, if you want to do this tutorial. But today's video actually will show you the basics of how to do this. And then you won't even need my tutorial. Just saying, if you do, you can have it, but you won't need it. Now this is a scallop die, though, that's a retired one, a straight-edged one. So I did have a couple of retired things that you might not have. So anyway, let's get started. As we go, there's like a whole bunch of things happening in this land of Stampin' Up! So I will get to all of those updates in a minute, but before I get distracted, I need to actually show you the product. that we're doing, because I do really encourage you to buy this. I don't encourage you to buy a lot. I mean, I encourage you as in, thank you so much for buying these things from me. I really appreciate it, or through me. It's from Stampin' Up. But I love this. It's so much fun. You get to share all these wonderful things. It's easy to make things to send to people. People are not obligated to keep those things. They're just paper. So even something that's like this, I know my kids are saving all of my granddaughter and grandson cards mostly. So something like this they might save, but if they didn't, like, I don't mind if you throw them away. They are completely disposable, and I love giving gifts that have no strings attached, because it's like what God gives us. He really just is so abundant in all of his love and mercy. He does not get paid back. If we had to pay back for anything, we never could, right? So we are so grateful for God, and I'm just sharing that love through this. Now, this stamp paper, you can see all my little cutouts, but that's all in this. I've got 2 packs shoved in here because I've been working through this. I've cut out with the dies. I cut out, here, let me get the stamped images out. These are the 2 die stamp and die sets that come with this. Now, these are the things I'm using today, so I don't want to mix it in with what I've got over on the side that I'm still working on. These are all the stamped images that come in the pack, and they all have dies that go with those stamped images, okay? I see I didn't clean out my cardstock on that little piglet one. And there is a tree trunk base. There's a honeycomb one. There's a nice jar and a honey, it's dripping honey that comes out of the jar. I have not used those. A sign, post, signs, a puddle, leaves. It just amazing, fun little details that I haven't even gotten to because I'm still working on just the paper mostly. But the sweet words and labels, you've got to have this one too. Just do yourself a gift, you know. Make this you are worth it. You are so worth this set. And so is your family or friends, whoever you're doing this for. The sentiments, oh bother. I love that. I've not used it much. I think I used it one time. It's one of Pooh's things, you know. He says, oh bother. And it's not the kind of card I usually send, so I gotta think on that, how to get that in, because I really like it. Now, for scrapbooking, this would be amazing for scrapbooking, which makes me come to my first point. May 2 is a special flash sale from Stampin' Up! 20% off all scrapbooking supplies. I do not think any of this will apply as a scrapbooking supply. So I don't think it's going to be on sale, but it is still something you'd want to add into your cart while you're getting your scrapbooking supplies if you do that. So this has these dies, but more than just those dies. So here's all the sentiments. It has the frames, 2 nice frames for 2 big ones. So those are the 2 stamped frames that you get to go around your sentiments. And then plus you get the dies that cut out those frames and all of these nested ones too. Oh my goodness, they're so pretty. I'm really enjoying using now. That one does fit in the big one, but it does not, its die doesn't actually fit in there. But I have stamped it, worked with it. It all matches perfectly. So does this one. So this is more of the sizes, these smaller ones you would normally see on our cards. But this big one is really nice. So when you're doing something really spectacular, that big one comes in very handy. Now I did the big one on my inside folder one. I believe that's the big one. But maybe it's the next size down. Now that I'm talking about it, it is. It's the next size down. That big one's pretty big. That would fill the whole front of your card. So anyway, just for you to know, that one is nice to have, but we don't tend to use it as much. It has these wonderful little acorn caps. There's 4 caps, couple of Oh, 4 acorns too. 2 little ones, 2 larger ones, and then oak tree leaves, which would be great for a more fall thing. And I'm not doing fall right now because we are in spring. So they don't come in these containers, obviously, as I've said many times. I'm not changing to the new container system. I'm just changing the way I'm giving myself more work when I get another set. So the back is nice. There's these little Winnie the Pooh people running along. It's very cute, but I'm taking these and just cutting these out. And I'm going to do that right now because I need, which one am I doing? Am I doing this one? I think I'm doing this. Yes, I'm doing this one today. So I need this tree. So we're going to just cut that out first before I even put that away because I think I've used up at least one of these pages. So for me, the best way to cut this big sheet, if I want to use all of these, is just to go down these lines. And I'm going to do this one first and this one second. There's plenty of a border around the images, so it's not... You don't really have to be too cautious about how much of a border you're leaving. It's very generous, and so I can save out this one that I'm going to use, and then we'll just pile these other ones into because I'm going to use these images eventually. Now, if I didn't know that I was going to use all of these, I would save it for this side. I'm actually kind of ruining that side a little bit by doing this, but you know what? I think I'm going to live with it. This one, if I wanted to sacrifice it, I could probably use that on a card. Because that one I could maybe sacrifice, but not that. That is too fun. I've already used that one, I think, at least twice in all the things that I've done. All right, so I've got just one of our big plastic folders that actually this set probably came in, and I'm just keeping all of my little images in there as I cut them out in the evening. And let me just show you the rest of the paper. It's really fabulous. It's worth the wait, believe me. It's so wonderful. So let me get these partial sheets out that I've been cutting on. And there's a few. Now, there we go. This particular sheet, the dies don't cut it, so I am fussy cutting these out. Aren't they cute with them? They're in the wind and thinking and writing and whatnot. And then there's this fun pattern on the back of that one. Ooh, I love this tree one. I just haven't figured out how to use this one. I actually might use this for a bag. This is a nice autumn one. There's Winnie the Pooh, climb in the tree. It's the Wildwood map. Oh, got to save that. This is tough because I love this side. This is why I immediately bought 2 packs, so I would know for sure I had enough of the Wildwood and this side because I want more than just 2 sheets of the Wildwood. Now, these are the images that can be cut out with the dies that come in the stamp set. Okay, so you've got your Eeyore, and has a die, and that Winnie the Pooh has a die, that Winnie the Pooh has a die, Rabbit has a die, the walking back, you know, with their backs to you, Pooh and Piglet, Owl has a die, Tigger sitting, and this one I'm so glad has a die because he's so cute. Piglet blowing a dandelion, and then you get these little dandelion poofs too on your stamps. The little honey pots, so those have a die, and then there are these cute little bees. They're not in this scene, but they are in here. And then the straight pots, the honey pots, that has a die too. So that's why you have to get it all. You can't just get the stamp sets and not get the paper, and you can't just get the paper and not the stamp sets. Yeah, I don't tell you that all that often. This is one that you really have to have the whole suite. Look at these scenes. The little picnic scene, Pooh looking up is how you're going to use this. It never hurts to keep looking up. Okay, there's Piglet looking up. You've got to have those to do that one. Winnie the Pooh riding, oh, so cute. So cute, I love it. There's the other Wildwood and that. Let's see what else we've got in here. I guess I haven't shown you everything, have I? Maybe we've gotten to the end of everything. It seemed like there was, oh, this page. So these are all the framed ones that the labels, the dies cut out, okay? So you get all of these that the die will cut out, and they're very cute. So another reference to looking up, you're gonna use that, and then just all kinds of things. Your oh bother, you know. Oh, there's another looking up. Oh bother would be good for that one too. And then there's a nice stripe. I think that's it. Let me peek here. I think we've seen it all. Yes, we have. I love it. All right, there. This is so pretty. I haven't gotten in any of the back ones because, oh, look at the sky on that one. Hard to sacrifice the images for the more general picture things. But anyway, so that is going to be so cool. Now, if you're not much of a card maker and you like to do kits instead, and you like to do classes and things like that, this weekend is for you. There's a virtual retreat. It's this weekend. You can't get the products for it probably now because it's like starts tomorrow, right? Or did it start today? Might even be starting today. I bet it is. I'm not really sure, but it's this weekend. It's a whole weekend of crafting. So you can still buy it, I'm sure, and then you can download or not download, but you can get the link and you can go watch it and make all the things on it. That one's really going to be cool. There also is a new craft class coming May 5. So that craft class has also got a product available that you can get, and or I assume products that you can get, and that should be really fun too. All right, so I am going to put my note here with our measurements on it so that I don't lose that. I have to put my note up here with all the things that we're doing. So we're going to do first is we're going to do a base. Let me put this note up here. I think it's a little brighter up here. You might be able to see it better. We're going to do a base card at 4 1/4 by 5. So we're wanting to do it the horizontal method and oh no, not vertical. Boy, I got my words mixed up again. It's pretty commonplace anymore. So we're gonna do it in the vertical, not horizontal. So this is portrait. This is the portrait way. We're gonna go to 4 1/4 and cut this sheet of pecan pie cardstock in half. And then we're gonna turn it and we're gonna score it at 5 1/2 inches. Which is your standard basic. I put these in A6 envelopes because I always stuff them with things and layer things and all. Now, you can save this and work with this, okay? Or you can get a scrap. That's a pretty good scrap to do all of our inserts. Our insert is actually going to be 5 1/2 by 4 inches. So if you want to just use this, you can. We're going to go 5 1/2 and cut it off. Okay. But we want this side to be 4 inches. So we'll cut off that 1/4 inch right there. And now I'm going to take this whole thing and score the whole piece. I've got the measurements for it all separated out if you want to do it differently, but you can actually just use this piece for everything, I believe. And if not, I've got a scrap. I kind of forget how I did this, but I do know what you want to do is you want to turn this, and you're going to score it at 1/2 inch first. Okay, so 1/2 inch, score. And then you're going to do 1 inch increments all the way along. So come to 1 1/2 and score. And then go to 2 1/2 and score. 3 1/2 and score. And 4 1/2 and score. And then that should give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1 inch increments. And we actually, I think we only need 4 of those. Let me see. So I'm going to start playing with this. So this is going to glue down inside. So we're going to fold that as a mountain, and then we're going to do this next one as a valley. And this one is a mountain, this one is a valley, and this one is this one. I think we leave this one. I should not have scored there. Let me see what I'm doing. Because this one we've got 1, 2. I actually only need 2 of these. No, that is correct. I just didn't fold it quite correctly. I need this to go. This is a mountain, and this, that's my trouble. This is a mountain. This is a valley. This is a mountain, and this is the valley. There we go. That's correct. All right, so let me just review that with you so you know what I'm doing. So where the 1/2 inch fold was, you'd go mountain. Okay, so that's sticking up. Go mountain again, then make it an accordion. Valley fold, mountain fold, valley fold. Okay, so your whole piece is going to look like that with this little 1/2 one here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just glue this right on here. Okay, so to glue it on is no difficult matter. All we're going to do is put some glue here. Okay, we're going to kind of set this up because you want it to, when you pull it up, you want it to be up, oh, this part we're going to glue down to this one. You want it to be up here somewhere. Not too high, not too far. You want to be able to open this card up pretty far. So I think, first of all, I don't want to have it like way up here glued, right? I think I'm going to glue this base here first so I know exactly where I'm placing it. And I'm going to get my card out and see where did I move it up to, just to give you an actual dimension. So it looks like I went up that edge. Let me find my ruler. Went right to there. I went up 2 1/4 inches. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take my ruler. Let's do it like this. And I'm going to take a score tool so I can see what I'm doing, and I'm going to just mark this 2 1/4. That's about where my glue is going to be. Okay, but I'm going to actually glue this other piece. I better use a pencil because I can see the score mark, but you'd have a hard time. So there's my pencil mark at 2 1/4 inches. It doesn't have to be exact. That's why I like this design so much. If you get it off a little bit, when you finish it, gluing it to the top part, you will correct it and it'll be fine. It needs to be kind of in that range. It doesn't have to be perfect. Since I've marked this, I definitely want to cover it now. So this bottom part is going right over that. So we're going to put our glue on here. You can use tape, you can use glue. I'm not good with tape. I always mess it up somehow. Doesn't really matter what. It shifts, it doesn't stick. I have trouble. Okay, so I'm going to cover up my mark, but only just barely. And put that right there with my borders in approximately where it should be, and then push that down really good. Okay, make sure it's adhered really good. Now you're going to close this up. Okay, and I actually want this half piece is what's going to get glued. So I should have, I actually want it to be glued like this. Okay, because I want my stair step to look nice up there. So it makes it a little trickier because I'm doing that. So we're going to go like this, keep this flat. And we're only going to put glue on the 1/2 inch part. But this is how that card needs to be. This needs to glue to that. So we're going to take the glue again. Okay, just put it in your 1/2 inch section. Oh, so fun. So fun. So don't forget, is it May 5? Did I say that? No, May 2. 20% off of all scrapbooking supplies. Now that could mean many different kinds of supplies. So just make sure you check it out. So I'm pushing this down. I want this to fold down nice and flat right on that. I'm going to rub that down and make sure it is down good before I open that thing. I do not want it to shift around. Okay, craft class. I told you about that. Ooh, there's a new product of the month, and oh, you're gonna love it. The product of the month is a floral vellum. It is very, very pretty. Remember, product of the month, see, look at that. Now don't push open too much right now. It's still adhering. So that's that. Now we need to do these little side arms. Okay, so the little side arms. So what I'm going to do, that piece is just 1/2 by 3 1/2. I think I do have a scrap over here that will work. Let's see. Is this 3 1/2? It is, exactly 3 1/2. So I need it to be this long, but I only need it to be 1/2 inch. That doesn't seem right. Must be, yeah, 1/2 inch this way. 3 1/2. Yeah, my brain. All right, so 1/2 inch and about. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it's going to be pretty narrow. It's okay. We're going to do 2 of those. So do one more, 1/2 inch. Okay. All right, and let me just double check to make sure it is 3 1/2. Okay. Now, a better way probably to do this would be to just score it first. Let's pretend I'm going to do it the right way. I could have taken that whole piece, scored it here at 1/2 inch, and then again at 1 1/2, because we're going to go up 1 inch increments all the way to the end. So 1 1/2 and then 2 1/2. And then I could have, that's all the scores you're going to do. Then you could just put it at 1/2 inch and cut it, and voila, now you have them scored and ready to go. But if you did what I just did, you could do these two and score it at 1/2 inch and then 1 inch and then 1 inch, and there you go. You get 2 of them. Okay. I'm going to actually move that to the side because I'm going to use those little arms. They'll come in handy on another one. So this one's going to work the same way. We're going to fold that down, mountain. But this one, mountain. So mountain, mountain, valley. No, that's not right. We need, that's not right. Mountain, valley, mountain, valley. I think that, no, I'm not, that isn't right. It needs to go like this. It becomes like a little square. So mountain, mountain, mountain. That's what it is. Mountain, mountain, mountain. Whew. My feeble brain. Now we'll put on the little arms. So cute. We can kind of pull that a little bit now. So you can see it's going to open up pretty nicely. And I'm going to rub it again really good there because I want that to glue on. You could clip it if you're thinking it needs some support while you're working. You can just put little clothespins there. We're going to take these, and these are going to go there and there and there. We're going to just glue this little half one on this stair, okay, and then we're going to glue the bottom right here. I'm going to do the little half part first, because this part's more adjustable than the half. I need this little half to be right there on my staircase. Okay, and I think actually for this one, I do need my clips. I don't know that I needed the clips for the other ones, but this looks like a good part for some clips. Okay. All right, if you are a demonstrator, and who wouldn't want to be, because you get to do all these things ahead of time, don't you? We get a discount on all of our purchases, which is wonderful. And we get to order early, which means that you don't ever miss out on the things that you want. Now, I'm going to be really careful here not to get glue on the sides. Okay, so there we go. And now we'll clip that. And then I'm going to do the other side. There is going to be a join offer here very soon, May 5. So become a demonstrator. I'd love to have you on my team. It is a fun thing to be part of. And like I said, your discount and just getting to know about everything ahead of time and getting to order it ahead of time is why I became a demonstrator. And then after I became a demonstrator, it just seemed like God opened that door for me, because I was doing our benevolence at our church at the time. And I just felt like this was a good opportunity to do a card ministry, and people helped me and joined my team, and it was wonderful. And then other people did. And so it is wonderful to see people enjoying the good things the Lord gives us. Now, we're going to put glue on this one, and then we're going to tuck it in underneath. Okay, so I'm going to do this side first. I'm kind of being careful not to get glue too close to the edge there. And I think this one, I think I can take it off now. We're going to go like that and glue that right there, right up against that fold. Okay, and I'm gonna get this clip in there, and we'll do this one. Put it right up against this fold. Anyhow, so it has been a delight to share this with as many people as possible. So the join offer is really good. You get, all the new in colors with the magnetic pads. You get the regular join offer, which is I think $125 here in the United States, $125 worth of product. You get that, but you also get you get a choice. You either get the 5 pads for free, or you get an extra $35, which is not as good a deal. So just take the pads. They're really nice, all really beautiful colors. So I'm going to use my fingers now to just push this down really good, making sure there's no glue in there. I can feel I actually managed not to get extra glue. And then make sure it's all folding the way you want, and fold it down. It's folding correctly. Fabulous. Take your burnished, your bone folder, and you can make sure all of that's folding really nicely. Okay? And that last one. I'm going to do this side too. Okay, isn't that lovely? Now we're ready. Ready to finish this card. Isn't this quick and fun? I love it. It's so cute. You're going to love doing this. This is a nice one to do with kids if you have it all cut out and ready to do, and they can manage. Or you could just do it ahead of time as like a base like this, and then they can finish the rest. That would be my preference, probably. I'm going to get out the cutting machine here, my embossing and cutting machine. Again, this is why you want to join, because the cutting and embossing machine is a little expensive, and it is really nice to have. But so many of us need a little bit of help with the cash on that one. So if you decide to join, that is a really good opportunity right there to get some help on it. Although I forgot, I think we used to be able to put it in our kit. But I think we're not allowed to anymore, which is pretty much a bummer. I think I don't understand the motivation behind removing this, but I think that is the one thing. You could get all of your Stampin' Up! Ink pads, though, with it. That would help quite a bit, huh? What I want to do is take this and do that deckled edge. We've got these deckled rectangular dies that are so pretty. And I don't know if you have deckle scissors. I've got several, and I have used them a bunch. But I was so glad to get these deckled dies because they're nice and straight. It's pretty hard to cut with scissors and keep it nice and straight. So what I want to do is just, on this card, I actually did the smaller deckled edge, and then the bigger one on Golden Glow is one of the new in colors. Isn't it pretty? Very pretty. But for this card, I'm just going to do the bigger one right on this image and not have I'm not going to have a border color because I don't want, in this particular card, I don't want any Golden Glow color added in because I'm just not doing enough layers to necessarily need that. So we're going to cut that, and that is how you get a very beautifully nice and straight edge, but deckled. I love that. And then, before I put all of this away, we're going to use, I'm going to use, do you remember the Stitched Whimsy? These are like, I think it was called Stitched Whimsy or something, dies. They're so fun because they look like little tracks. Since they're still of like a very vanilla edge around, I wanted to have the stitched tracks showing. So since this die is a bit bigger, I'm going to place this edge and this edge on it, and some of it's going there, but we're going to do little stitched tracks around. This die doesn't cut, it's just an emboss, but a nice deep embossing. And then we're going to do it again, and I'm going to put more stitching here and on this side too. So cute. I don't know if you can really see it, but it is, I love it. And this is why I have these stitched ones stored in with my deckled rectangles. It's a really good way to get these in and use it. Isn't that beautiful? All that little stitchery. So cute. I love that. So those two go together really nicely. I keep these hanging on my wall right by me so I can remember. And I cut that because the old ones had a flap. I'm so glad that the new ones don't have a flap because they catch in my shutters that I have these hanging on right here by my workstation. All right, now let's cut out the other dies that I need. We're gonna have to stamp this one before I can really do that. Let's see, what do we need here? Okay, what we need is, I don't think I'm gonna quite do this like this. Maybe I will. But for sure what I need is this image and this image, which we have. I think I've got those all cut out. No, I don't. I don't have this one. So I need to find the blustery one, and we'll cut that out. And then I need a very vanilla tag for this sentiment and this sentiment. Well, I'm going to have to stamp those before I cut them. So before I put this all away for now, I need to find that photo with the little blustery. I think I have a Piglet. Yes, I do. Piglet's all ready to go. The other images are too. I just need to find the Pooh walking with Piglet in the blustery wind. That is such a fun shot. Let's see if I can find it. I don't remember when we were looking. I didn't really remember seeing that one. It must be on the page where they're all blowing in the wind. No, I know what it is. It's the labeled ones, right? Yes, there it is. I mean, it's the one where they're all pre-labeled for us. So we need to cut this one out. Okay, always give yourself some room around that border because, you know, for both images, the one you're cutting right by and the one you're cutting out, so that you're not shortchanging yourself. And then we'll get the stamp set out here with that die. Okay, so that one is this one right here. It's the third one down, I believe. Yes, it is. Okay, so let's cut this one out. Very cute. If you have all of these things all cut out and ready to use, you can do a class with this set so easily, super easy. It would be really rewarding for people to come to a class using this set. In fact, basically, if you wanted to do a couple of these fun folds, you could just have those pre-set up for them, and then all it would be, if there are people that are a little unsure about coloring and all, they can use all of this stuff without even having to color anything. That won't, you know, then you won't have to have them purchasing blending pens and all of that. Now I do need to stamp before we do, I think, any of the other things. So let me put this to the side after I've made some room, because I kind of took up the room for my machine here. Okay. And what you're gonna, I actually, very vanilla is a tiny bit on the dark side. I have got some paper on the side that's just a hair creamier, that matches the color of this background just a tiny bit closer, but very vanilla is super close. So what I'm gonna do is use this background stamp just once, because we're only gonna do one sentiment like that. I actually already have it right on here on my block, because I did it earlier today to get it set up, because these are pretty thin. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a moment. Let me make sure it's all inked up all the way around. Okay. And I moved my cleaner. There you are, right there. So I knew I was going to have all kinds of little doodads all around. So these are very thin, so be really careful when you're peeling them off the plastic in there and off your block. Be very careful. They also move easy, which is really nice, because you can actually make it a fatter one if you want, around a fatter sentiment that's different from these, because these all fit perfectly in. But I'm just saying, you can do, with photopolymer, you can do all kinds of things. That being said, it also can get funky when you want it to be exactly what it is. So what I do is I just take it like this, and with the ink part that would be inked before I ink it, and I just lay it gently down so it's actually the exact shape it's supposed to be. Then I put my block on that and push it down and peel it up so it's exactly the shape I want it to be. Otherwise, they tend to morph into some other unrecognizable thing. Especially with use, they do. If you're not using it all the time, they probably don't do that. But now the sentiment I need for sure for this one is that sometimes when you go looking for happiness, oops, I dropped a die, finds you. And I think that's this one. Yes, it is. Okay. Let me grab that die before I lose it. That's the bane of every stamper, is losing dies. Usually there's some little teeny tiny die. Okay, so we're gonna stamp that right on the inside, but I'm actually gonna end up trimming all of my fancy stuff off, because I didn't want it covering my whole image, but that's a whole nother topic. Okay, so there we go. Isn't that cute? So cute. So today I'm just using Pecan Pie, both the cardstock and the ink. So this is not not a high purchase thing other than the stamp set, because you do want the whole suite. Now the other stamps that I'm going to use today, that was for the cover. The other ones I'm using is Being Awesome is Just Your Thing and Have a Blessed Day. And those are actually from a retired set. So I'm going to put this away for now, although I need those dies back out. Do you remember Unbounded Love? It was also in Spanish, so I could be doing Have a Blessed Day in Spanish if I wanted to, but I just really appreciate that this one has, in a pretty good size, in the perfect sized font for me, Have a Blessed Day. Love that. When we were, you know, fresh here to Missouri, Jeff and I were shocked, literally shocked. You're going to laugh if you live in the South. But where we came from, no one would have ever in a million years said, have a blessed day. Now maybe things have changed, but I don't think so. Sadly, it has not changed back there in any way that's been good that I am aware of. And we were shocked because where we came from, people would have probably been fired from their job if they'd been overheard to say, have a blessed day. Very sad, folks. Doesn't have to be that way. All right, have a blessed day. So I'm going to come down pretty far on here and do that there because I want plenty of room around to get my die. That's going to be the little frame that's going to be with. And then the other thing that I need is the You're Just Awesome one. So Unbounded Love, this was a wonderful one. I don't think it's available still. I hope you got it. It has so many beautiful words in it. Happy and Heartfelt. This also was a fabulous one. I love Hello Baby and Heck Yeah. I love that. There's also Yay for Love, All Day Your Way. I mean, there's so many. It has Happy Mom Day and Happy Dad Day. This is one of my all-time favorite sets. I mean, it's old, you can tell, because it's still clean. All Day Your Way would be nice, but I wanted this to be Being Awesome is Just Your Thing, because it just seems to be perfect to say with this card. So I'm going to go ahead and come down here just to make sure I have plenty of room to cut out these. I know I'm kind of wasting cardstock probably, but that's just because I'm doing this video. I'm actually very thrifty with my cardstock and would just cut and then stamp and cut and then stamp. I wouldn't be wasting it like this if it wasn't for the fact that I'm trying to get through this reasonably quick for you, so you don't have to be enduring a lot of time with me, because I'm not that fun. Some people are super fun, and I love to do cards, so as long as you're doing that with me, we're having a great time. But I probably really wear on people after that. My husband loves me. That's good. My kids don't mind me too much. All right, let's cut this off. That one's going to go like that. Now, I want to do, for this one, we're going to use this die. Has little hearts in it. Oh, it's so cute. Look at that. That Have a Blessed Day is going to go right at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that like here. Okay, and then for the other one, Being Awesome is Just Your Thing, we're actually going with this littler one. It's the next size down for this size. So cute. That one's going to fit really nicely right there. All right, and then I've got a nice chunk of Very Vanilla I'll put up here to use later. Okay. All right, so we'll get the cutting machine out again and we'll cut those out. And I think we're going to be ready to assemble everything because looks like we've got everything that we need now. So this is going to go super fast. And when Jeff saw my big pop-up that, again, as a plug for myself, you can get on my Square site tutorial for that if you wish. said, I think that took a lot. It looks like it took a lot of time. And I said, well, it only did just because I had to kind of create it out of my head. I knew what I wanted, and I couldn't really find what I wanted. And you know, these stair step things are super easy to do. But having said that, to do it with a whole, you know, thing going there, it's super easy, but it did take a little bit of time. Normally, these kinds of things go together pretty fast if you've got your images all cut out. It's having to fussy cut out all the images that actually takes the time. And I already had a bunch of those cut out, so that wasn't so bad. Now this one has all these little hearts, so cute. Look at that. They just fell right out of there, didn't they? So those are ready to go, but I do need to get it off my cutting board. And I also want to get it out of my die. I don't think there's a lot. There's one there. Looks like most of them popped out. They're just little teeny, teeny, tiny hearts. Okay, let's put these away as I use them so I don't lose them. And I don't need a pokey, I don't think, for these next ones. This one, oh no, this one doesn't have the hearts are actually stamped right in it. It doesn't. This one, though, you do have to be more careful about lining up so that you don't lose any of your lines. Although I forgot with this, what I'm going to do is trim it anyway. So we're going to be just trimming it off. Okay, so we've got that one done. And put this one away. If you are, I think what I was going with that, if you are a demonstrator, whole chatter, is that if you are a demonstrator, whether you're on my team or someone else's, and you are already a demonstrator, we are going to have to do a re-up on our IDA, which is Independent Demonstrator Agreement. We're going to have to do an update. So you are going to be prompted when you go on the website to sign that when it becomes available for us to sign, and you need to do it. So do not do what I do, which is ignore things that are pop-ups strictly as a rule. In this case, you want to click it, go sign that. Otherwise, Stampin' Up! Is going to have to drop you as a demonstrator eventually. So please, just click it and sign it. It's what you signed initially when you did. It's just a new one. Reflecting the new, you know, not decade, but new time. It's nothing, I don't think anything much is changing. It's just your agreement. And so anyway, it's not a big deal. All right. I think I got all of that done. Let me put this die away, and we are ready to finally get all of these. Now, I would love to spend time with you just putting on some of these acorns and leaves too, and other things, because once you get started with these pop-ups, it's like, seriously, you can just go on and on and on doing all kinds of wonderful things. But for now, we're going to go ahead and keep it simple. I'm going to glue this on first on the front. I do want it to be right on the edge. So that means I'm probably going to get a tiny bit of glue on the edge. Hopefully not, because I want those edges to be looking good here. Okay, looks like I got the placement pretty well. So I'll rub that down. Now this part, I want this sentiment here, but I just didn't want it to cover that much of everything. And we also have little Piglet that's going to be on the side, and I want to see more of that background. So I decided to just go ahead and sacrifice a bunch of this, and I actually put it in my cutter and trimmed it, but I think that you'll have just as good a result just using your scissors and just cutting straight across here. Okay, and if you want to trim a little more here, because like me, if you get that die off just a tiny bit, you can do that. And then we're going to put this on this side, so there's room for Piglet to sit on the bank with his little dandelion flower. And I moved him up because I had him down a little too low and it was hard for me to do. So I've already cut out this Piglet with the die that's on the paper, so you're not having to observe me doing any coloring today, which is kind of nice. And that's it for your cover. You're done. On the inside here, I want that picture of rabbit kind of pensively looking off. It's not fall. Some of these scenes are more fall related, and this one is more of a summer one. So we'll put that right here, maybe up more at the top rather than the bottom, so I can see it really well. And then I'm going to put my You're Being Awesome is coming next right here, but I don't want it to be too high. You could put it lower, but your image, because we're going to put this down here. Oops. Yeah, we're going to put this here, and it kind of pokes up. So this needs to, oops, one of my dice fell off the wall. This has got to be up pretty high. Now, if you've got it such that you can't fit it in well enough, you can do another little arm, but I sure wouldn't. I would just put tiny bit of glue here right on the edge. Just enough so that you can position this on that stair step, but you don't want any overhang glue. That's the only thing. You don't want glue on the top here, and you don't want glue on the bottom here. If any glue oozes out at all, make sure you clean it off really good, okay, with your adhesive remover. Now, I think I can actually trim this a tiny bit so it can fit down in here on this stair step just a tiny bit more, because I really want that to be down a tiny bit. In my die when I cut this, I should have been a little more careful in the placement of it. So there's just a tiny bit of an edge that I can take off here. There. Doesn't matter here, just like there. So it's going to sneak in on under these arms just a tiny bit, you see. You can sneak them in. All right, so we're going to just take some glue. This one I'm going to just do the glue right here. Not a lot, just a little. Okay, and then we're going to sneak that in as far as we can. Okay, and work that glue down to the bottom, and then that way there's no glue there at all. Okay, and then this one's going right here, and that one's going to sneak right up here like this. Oh, I forgot, I need to get my images on first. Okay, because they're going to be standing. So we've got Pooh on this side with Piglet. Okay, so I'm going to put just a little bit of glue right here in the center. You don't want it sticking out of the card. It can be off of there, but don't get it out of this line. You don't want to see it when you close the card at all, okay? So hold that or use your clips, and then we'll put Eeyore on this side like that. His tail is I'm gonna kind of tip him just a little bit like this so that I can get more of the bow of his tail on here. Okay, so we're gonna put a little glue there, a little glue there. I'm gonna put just a tiny bit of glue on that bow. There we go. And then I've got his feet up just a tiny bit so that he can fold down easily without any trouble. Now don't fold it until it's really dry. And then now we can stick this in and you can see better where, you know, you want to lay this one on. So cute. All right. I think we are almost done for the day. This is coming out in my newsletter on Monday, and but not this card. I wanted to do a special pop-up card for this set just because it's wonderful. And when I did that newsletter, I hadn't gone to California yet, and I wanted you to see this set as soon as possible so you'd have a chance to buy it, because I know it is going to sell out quickly and might not be available. So there you go. It closes nice, opens nice, and you get this wonderful little pop-up with a little room to write. If you're a fuss budget, put this sentiment on a belly band that'll fit over it and keep it closed. But if you're sending it to kids and they're not gonna care, then don't bother, okay? It'll be good. So cute. All right, so thank you so much for watching with me. Appreciate all that you do and keep up the good work. We are going to do, I've got a Bible verse. This is one of my old stamps. I love these old stamps. I cut off the floral thing and then I use them on the inside of cards. This one, the Lord himself goes before you and will be with you, and he will never leave you or forsake you. God is so good. Thank you so much for joining me today. You have a wonderful day and wonderful weekend. And then when you get my newsletter on Monday, you'll see how I used this set. Really quick and simple. I did like 5 cards in probably a half hour after I had cut out the frames. Those frames, once you get those cut out, you can use those super quick. All right. I'll see you next week. Bye.